You're listening to the number one podcast made by two guys 40 plus who don't charge extra fees. I can't, and the one that galls me the most is like you go someplace and they say, okay, it's another 3% for a credit card fee. I mean, come on.
Well, you
just add it into the price.
But nobody,
if you're working on, I know a couple places, these are high-end places.
Breakfast places, like if you spend under $10, they want cash.
I understand that.
Okay.
I don't take, if it's over, I won't take anything under $20.
Right.
Like, I won't process
right.
it. Okay, I get that. But, like, I give you a price. That's the price. You're nickel and diming me for the 3% credit card fee. Just build it into the price. And not only that, like, kids come in these days. Kids aren't carrying cash.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, my kids now have, like, it's a debit card. They're not carrying that money anymore. How many people are actually carrying cash with them?
Let's think about this for a second.
All right. I carry cash.
There's a whole logic behind this, I think.
Okay.
What is the advantage to, and I'm not saying either of us are doing this because I'm not in that type of business and neither are you. But what is the advantage to a small store owner who takes in cash?
There's always somebody takes a couple of bucks here and there. I mean, come on.
Okay.
All right.
But at the end of the year, when you have to pay Uncle Sam,
right?
Now it's all
we're gonna talk about. All right, we're gonna talk.
I was just thinking,
we're gonna get a little more into that right after this. So you're worried. So first of all, okay. Let's say I'm just throwing. Think about it. Okay, I'm just throwing it out there. Okay. Let's say you're a bagel store.
Yes.
Okay.
Coffee, bagels, sandwiches, deli, whatever.
$1 million. You're doing $1 million a year
in revenue.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know the markup.
Is whatever.
All right. What do you want to make the markup at?
50%.
50 on bagels and tuna? I don't think it's that much. They make it on the coffee.
Oh, coffee.
Well, food's not a high. It's always the beverages. Food isn't a high. All right. Let's say let's go. Let's throw a number out there. Let's go 30%.
By the way, biggest rip, iced coffee.
Oh my God.
Less coffee, higher
ice.
price.
And all
higher
ice.
Price. And all yeah. Okay.
So I mean, still, you're running the expense. How much do you think that you actually can put under? And nowadays you go in, you get like a dozen bagels and like a pound of tuna, and you're over $20.
Right. It's expensive, but my point is that they can keep it off the books.
Right, but how much are you keeping off the books? Is this a life?
I don't know.
Do you think $1 million bagel place, all right, whatever, that the amount of cash that you're doing is a lifestyle changer to keep that money off the books?
Yeah.
I can understand. I can understand pocketing.
I've never had that type of business. I
can understand pocketing some fun money.
Okay.
Okay. Back in the day, a lot of people did a lot more cash, or depending on your employees that might be off the books. So there are some that rather have that cash. There's stuff going on.
Well, if you think about it, then you have crypto. That
has nothing to do with crypto.
But it does though.
What?
Because you can run a business and run it in crypto,
right,
as a payment exchange, but the laws about crypto and taxes and everything else are a little, they're not really that finalized, but you can watch your employees at the same time as they're accepting crypto. Right. So it's kind of like the modern day.
No, cash is cash, crypto's crypto.
Well, you understand what I'm saying, though. There's a structure
My
to
cash will go further than your crypto.
Oh, wow.
But I was going to say, maybe this might actually add into it, but there's also a generational thing.
Of course there is.
Because I think a lot of, mostly the older demographic that actually listens to our show.
They carry more cash than we do.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't carry any cash.
I do. But like if you go into a bagel place, like they'll always pay like $20. They'll always pay with cash. Cup of coffee, always pay with cash. You know what I mean? They do that.
Like
It's but that's normal, right? Let me give you $21. There's still a lot of cash going on, and I think a lot of it's generational because they're used to paying that way, and it's hard for them to take out a credit card for like $20.
I would not want to be somebody who's over 60,
Right?
in this world right now, because I think it's very confusing and it's very hard. You can't
in terms of what?
In terms of everything.
As long as they can cash their check.
In terms of banking, in terms of ordering things, in terms of getting plane tickets, in terms of just like everything's computerized.
Oh my God.
And then there's authentication, and then there's
oh my God.
What are you? Oh my God!
You're starting to sound like one of those people who say people can't figure out how to vote.
Wait, you're going to tell me? You're going to tell me that COVID, getting registered, when things were out of control and people were really fighting for appointments, you're telling me that was a simple process
For what kind of appointment?
to get the booster, to get the shot.
That was different. We were all scrambling,
right? But
to go get the shot.
But it was very confusing.
It was confusing because the rollout wasn't good.
Right, but it was all on technology. You had to go on the website. You
have to understand. You have to understand too. I'll tell you the truth. Anytime, and I don't care Republican. It doesn't. This is a nonpartisan statement. Anytime the government has run out like any kind of website, it crashes. You do not have like they should have called like Bill Gates.
I don't
or somebody.
Why they don't do that?
Right. They have their own guys doing it, or whatever. Even military personnel, they get like some intern. This is his job. Look, remember when they ran out Obamacare, right? That website crashes all the time, or crashed originally. Duh. What do you think was going to happen with this? Like, you go on New York State. And I remember, like, I'd see an appointment, and I'm like, okay, and you hesitated like 10 seconds, appointment gone. And then you would go and recycle, and I couldn't get an appointment for 3 months. But it was just a horrible process.
I mean, because if you think about it, why don't they go to somebody like a Jeff Bezos or a Bill Gates and say, listen, I know your sites have a massive amount of traffic and we're going to get bombarded. What do you do to keep your systems running, organized?
I mean,
come on. It's
how many people are on, let's say, Facebook a day compared to
crash.
And it doesn't crash going onto a government website. Look, things crash. I use a very large company for my mail hosting.
Okay.
All right. They've been having problems for the last week. It crashed this morning. Right. This morning it crashed, came back. It happens. But this happens all the time. They can't. That's why, like, we're supposedly have like such great security, to protect our government and everything. Or I don't think it's that good. Look, we've been hacked. Remember they held that pipeline was hacked.
Oh, that pipe.
Come on.
Well, I mean see, now you're bringing up a whole other topic. Now you're bringing up the whole job market thing.
No, it's
like
nothing.
We keep I'm speaking on the economy.
Right.
Advertising millions of jobs available.
There are, but everybody wants to
qualified for them.
It's no. It's not that. I'm telling you.
What is it?
It's people, because of the pandemic, the new normal. People want to stay home and work from home. Like 40% of the people that are looking for a job, 40 to 50% of the people that are looking for a job that want a job.
What type of job though? Are we talking about
they are looking for jobs like I heard the story, and this was like through when I was reading or whatever, listening to somebody. And she was a bartender. Okay. Now she's worried about getting COVID. She doesn't want to bartend anymore. She wants an office job from home. But she's not qualified.
She's not qualified.
But
That's my point.
But that's right. That's what she wants. I want to work. I want an office job in advertising or whatever, so I can work from home. So they're not looking at what can I do. They're looking at the jobs, what offer. And then, like, if they do get the job, then they say, I want to work from home. And then the company says, no, you have to come in because we have to train you or something, or it's not fully remote. And, like, people are getting upset and don't want to work.
It's not an easy situation to figure out. It's frustrating. Like, you obviously cannot bartend from home.
Right.
Okay, so that job's out.
Okay.
You know, and then if you want to change your career,
right,
even, you know, and anybody who's ever gone on an interview, even if you are interviewing for the exact job that you're qualified for, it is still extremely tough.
Right.
It's a different culture at each company, different processes, different ways.
But you're not even getting to learn the culture anymore. That's one of the big issues.
Yeah.
You know,
So
that's it. So do they ask you the blender question?
The blender question?
Yeah, I was watching The Internship the other day.
Oh, really? Whoa.
Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Blender question? What's the blender question?
If you were a penny in a blender,
how
do you get out? Or how would you get out of the blender?
That's a real question?
Yeah. What's his name's in it? Wilson, the blonde one.
Okay.
It's a good movie. They intern at Google.
Okay. So what's the answer?
They didn't really give. They gave like a crazy, substantiated, like stupid. They're like, well, how long does the engine go for? They're like, forever. They're like, no, because we've sold blenders before. This won't last more than 300 hours. You know, it's like something like that. It was just a funny question. You had to be in the moment of seeing the movie.
Because you're in a different situation, business-wise.
Okay.
Some interview questions are
right. That's what I'm asking. This was one of those crazy,
ridiculous.
This was one of those crazy. Like, how do you rate yourself? What's your weakness?
I had somebody ask me once.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Went through this. Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, okay.
So
I think we discussed this once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said to me, we're having a nice, really, back and forth conversation.
Right.
And he goes, okay, let me ask you a question. What do you think your biggest weakness is?
Right. Uh-huh.
And I hate that question because you go on the internet, you look it up. There's answers to that question.
I can't go left.
Right.
I go right really well. When I have to pivot left, I hesitate. That's my problem.
So I was saying, sometimes I get frustrated at work about something that's not working, and I might take it home with me at night and just think about it over too much.
You fester.
Right, and I'm being brutally honest.
Don't be honest.
If there's something at work, or I feel like we didn't get enough accomplished or whatever, that I don't know if that's really a fault or whatever, and I know that that's not the right answer. He goes, no, he goes like this to me. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I said, well,
what the hell are you looking for?
I said, I know I'm not perfect. I know I have, faults or whatever, but I don't know.
Can't go left.
So what does he do? Stares at me for 2 minutes straight.
So
silence in the room. Okay.
Right.
So wait. So then finally he speaks. He goes, I'll tell you what I was looking for. He goes, my biggest weakness is I'm very unorganized. Now, if I'm going for a job and I tell somebody my biggest weakness is organization,
you're out.
I'm gone.
Yeah, I wouldn't hire you.
So how do you even? That's ridiculous.
That's stupid.
Do you
think? So do you think these interviews are more like power trips than anything else? Like, do they even know?
The problem is that a lot of times they know who they want.
Right.
Before you even sit down in the chair.
Okay, agreed.
Whether it's internal or external, they're doing it to satisfy quotas, jobs, HR required things, things like that. And I just think that's an interview would be much easier if you just spoke about who you are.
I can tell when I've interviewed people. I can tell within the first 30 seconds.
What do they do? What is it that gives you the clue?
Depends on the person sitting there.
How quickly can I take vacation?
No. They don't. No, it's not even the questions. I can just look at you. This is from my experience doing this a number of years. I can just look at you and tell. You get a feel of whether they're going to work out or not. You know what I mean? And how much BS that they're giving you.
Oh,
and who's going to work out? Yeah.
You can pick up BS.
First of all, if I'm interviewing a driver and you have a valid driver's license and we can insure you, that's 90%. That's 90% of the
okay.
right.
Okay, good.
I mean, and then I had one guy. I had one guy who went out with three stops one day.
Okay.
He came back with 2 of them and 4 tickets. So that didn't work out well.
So that was a bad.
Yeah, that was a bad call on my part. And then pulled a knife.
It happens.
I fired him over text. The only time I've ever done that. I was scared of him.
Oh, this guy was.
Yeah. He had a knife, and I'm like, you know what? He worked for like 3 days, and then he had a death in the family, and I'm just like, just don't come back.
Oh, but even in corporate, you should see the formalities that they, how many certain people have to be in the room.
Oh yeah.
It's a whole.
I leave my door's open. I have to leave my door. I always leave the door open. Even now, even if you get like. People have reached out for me as a reference. You can't say anything.
You could just say yes.
No comment.
He did work here,
right? Or I just put no comment.
I think the answer is this person was here from 2017 to 2019. Right.
They worked,
and that's it. Because if you say anything more than that,
I cannot. Or they ask me questions, and I just say I cannot comment.
Yeah, no comment.
Isn't that crazy? You got to protect yourself from somebody referencing you.
Referencing you that did a bad job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've got probably, I would say upwards of 4 to 5 people that gave their notice or were on their way in. Mm-hmm. I'm still waiting for them to come back in.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I'll be there in about 15 minutes. All right, I've got stuck on the train. Never show up. Never see them again.
Yeah. It's
2 weeks notice. They work a day and then should come back. But who's talking about that?
You should really have tryouts.
Basically, it is.
Well, basically the reason you can't have the tryouts is because you got to sign off for health care or the benefits.
No, it doesn't kick in. When we hire somebody, they're on a trial basis for 6 months.
So what do they do for health care?
It's not my problem.
So
healthcare doesn't kick in for 6 months.
You don't have healthcare that kicks in for 6 months?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's really?
Yeah. Yep. Union, baby.
Okay, let me cross off where I'm not.
Yeah. No.
Oh my God.
That stuff doesn't kick in for 6 months.
How do they have healthcare?
It's not 6 months.
Are they getting healthcare from somewhere?
I don't know. I don't ask.
Do you have any kind of...
I've had people ask, can I opt out of the healthcare? And you can't. That's not...
So not only do they have to wait 6 months, but then if they don't want it...
that's a 6 months. They have to have it.
They have to have it.
Yeah. I have to pay the benefits.
Is this a union thing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. See, that's totally different. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So, and then those 6 months, they're paying for somebody else.
Oh, it's like
so their money.
It's Social Security.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Like these plans are all going to run out one day because you're back paying for somebody else that's on a pension or whatever that has like health care for the rest of their lives.
Oh, we're never going to see Social Security. We're paying into a system that's like, and if we do, it's going to be pennies.
Yeah.
It's going to be ridiculous. But boy, it sounds like...
So,
sounds like a lot of fun in your office.
I'm great to work for. I am. If you could survive the first 2 weeks.
First 2 weeks, and I don't
know your name. Yeah, then you're okay. After that, you're gold. You get to go. That's the thing. If you can survive the first 2 weeks, I learn your name after a while.
Pass you in the hall. Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, I don't know you. How long have you been here? I've been here about a month. Oh, what is your name?
I've had that. I was calling somebody the wrong name for like 6 months.
Yeah, I've actually.
You know what the funny thing was? This was before direct deposit. I was still signing his check. I didn't know his name.
You should
Maybe I
see
shouldn't admit that.
Like, I've been in situations where, like, I'll call somebody up on the phone, but back when we were in the office, and I didn't realize, like, they're literally, like, 30 feet away from me.
You didn't know that they were
And
there.
I didn't know that they... Yeah, like I'm emailing with them,
Right.
and like you don't realize where.
Did you have
located.
before back in the day when you had a guy?
Back in the day, yeah.
Did you have a formal office or a cubicle at that point?
Yeah, no.
You had a whole four walls and a door?
No. I was on a sales floor, so
Okay.
we all had, it was like, you were with your area, your team, and if you had a question, you just yell it out to the other person or take a look at my screen. It was simple. Now, if you have a question for somebody,
Yo, Joe, I got a dancing chicken on my screen. Check it out.
Yeah, what do I have to do to get this finished here? What am I missing? And they go, you got to hit enter twice, or because something's.
Was the programs that hard?
What's that?
Did you use like a lot, like your software and stuff? Was that difficult?
Well, it depends what the software is. So, there's always improvements and things and processes you have to follow.
There's always
different
a bug.
companies. Yeah. So, but now when you need help with something, you have to get on their calendar. So, so now, like if I have like a 2-second question that can be solved at like 10 o'clock in the morning, I might not be able to get the answer until 3 because that's what the person I need is not going to be freed up on their calendar. So I put like a half an hour on their calendar, try to get. I'll send them a message through. You
don't find it slows down work, or
no? What I find out is you figure out how to do it yourself and get it done. That's the,
right.
But
God! After 20 years, they took off the training wheels.
Yeah.
The buffer is gone. The safety net is no longer.
Yeah, like you can't just like. And there was always somebody who came from another department who got the new job in your group, and like everybody helped everybody out. But now you got to be able to grab the person.
But you can't grab the person anymore.
Virtually. It's a virtual grab.
Do you think there's a lot less sexual harassment going on now?
It's a great question.
Yeah. Because you're not in the office with everybody. So, I mean, you can't be like doing or saying those kind of, well, you can say them, but I think those more private conversations than ever before.
Well, there's that face-to-face interaction that's completely gone. I mean, you still talk to the people.
But not.
Right.
You're not having water cooler talk at this point.
And a lot of people have their screens off. They just,
naked from the waist down.
We should do a follow-up to Ashley Madison.
We should see how that's going.
Yeah, we should see what the stats look like.
You're the research guy. You're the stat man.
I think I'm going to look into it because it's like post the initial COVID.
Right.
And I want to see if the numbers are still trending. I want to see which way they're trending.
Well, it depends on Omicron.
Well, they're saying if you get like 17 boosters, you shouldn't be affected by it.
Are you boostering? I think I'm going to booster.
I'm boostering.
Yeah.
You going to booster?
I got booster.
I'm going to booster during the holiday time when it's quiet and if I'm sick,
Right. Well, I know you're a germaphobe, so. Yeah. No. I think it's time to. I asked my doctor, and I didn't get a definitive answer.
They don't have one.
No, I had a specific question because of a specific ailment. Okay. Like I said, there's no scientific data to say otherwise.
And I was talking to somebody like they said, I have antibodies, but does that mean that it's enough to fight off? Is this going to, how many antibodies do you need? When does it go down? There's so many open-ended questions that. Well,
I'm going booster. I'm not going
cocktail. You're not mixing.
I'm not. I think I'm going to go booster, and I'm not going flu.
Oh, I did the flu already.
I never do the flu. I've done it like twice.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
What do you mean you're not a fan?
I'm not a fan of the flu shot.
Do you get the flu?
I'm not saying anything. I'm not right.
Okay.
But does that guarantee you that you're not going to get the flu? No.
No, but it has made it a lot easier.
What has made it easier?
When I've gotten the flu shot as opposed to not getting the flu shot, it had less severity.
Of the flu?
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know. To me, it's a crapshoot. I don't want to mix. I don't want my flu and my vid to mix.
I'm surprised I'm not glowing, actually, between
right?
the flu shot, the COVID shots, the booster shots.
I'm just surprised you're not impotent at this point.
Well,
That's
you don't know.
Next time you go to the doctor, I need some of those wake-up pills, those Viagras. That's it. You don't know.
Who knows if I could have kids anymore?
Well, that's good.
For my age, and I have had.
What are you saving it for now? You got 2 kids,
right? No, I don't.
I stand in front of the microwave.
I keep my cell phone in my pocket all the time.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I told my wife,
I've got 3G, 4G, and 5G all going in at the same time.
I said, if we're ever to go to divorce, I ain't having, the next one ain't happening.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
No way.
Nah, I'm done.
This is a totally separate topic about what I would go for.
We had that conversation.
I know, but I feel very strongly about this.
Oh, maybe we'll talk about that next time.
But to clarify, before we go, we're both very happily married to our wives, to our said wives.
Oh, by the way, too, Scott Peterson today.
Okay.
Yes,
I saw that.
And now we came back. We had the discussion at dinner tonight that is where our no killing policy comes down. Lacey Peterson.
Just walk away.
Exactly.
Walk away.
Just walk away. And we're going to walk away from this episode. As you can find us at therealagingimmaturely.com. And that's going to do it for today's episode of Aging Immaturely. You can follow us on Instagram at Aging Immaturely, Facebook Aging Immaturely, or you can email us at agingimmaturely@gmail.com.